I came across the segment on YouTube from Men's Health. The famous successful man, athlete, CEO, actor opens up the doors to his life, his fridge, and his habits.
You're here to see my fridge and gym. Come on.
Let's head to the kitchen.
For my first subject, I had to pick A-Rod. As we all know, A-Rod was a high-performing athlete in the past, and now he is a highly successful businessman. And by his own account, he has successfully lost 35 pounds with the help of his girlfriend, who is a triple threat. She is a registered nurse, a certified nutritionist, and she is a health coach. Men's Health will ask the questions, but I'm here to give you the score. I'm Janina Soto, an elite health strategist. This isn't about celebrity shaming. It's about strategic learning for you. My clients are men over 50 who want to enjoy their wealth, see their grandkids, and travel the world without a walker or a cane.
I have young girls, 2 daughters, Natasha and Ella, and I want to have a healthy life, especially as you get into your 50s and 60s, and you want to age gracefully.
You were recently diagnosed with gum disease.
The gum disease that he was diagnosed with, going to the dentist every 3 months. Stay tuned and I'll tell you why it happened at the end. I'm cutting through the noise for you. I'll look inside these fridges and gyms of all these multimillionaires, dissecting their answers on everything from diet to longevity. I'll be assigning a definitive score based on a simple universal truth. Are they leveraging their own body's built-in mechanisms, or are they just wasting time on supplements, products, or outdated hype? On the surface, this is a picture of modern high-end wellness, but that's exactly where the problem lies. So I titled this video, A-Rod's Invisible Health Failure. I don't mean shame on you, A-Rod, or your girlfriend, because what's going on with you is going on with millions of people all over the world. This is why I'm doing this video, because I want to pull back the curtain to something you didn't even know there was a curtain in front of. While the fitness industry and the medical establishment and most nutrition experts are celebrating a 35-pound weight loss, I'm here to point out the crucial invisible failure that they all miss. And yes, I know on the photo it says 32 pounds, but in the video he says 35. So I'm going to believe A-Rod that it was 35 pounds that he lost. And by the way, he looks a lot better. He looks a lot less swollen and puffy. And here's the key, guys. Losing weight is not the key performance indicator. The real strategy for a man who's over the age of 50 who wants to achieve a dignified death after a long life of being very active, being alert, being very independent until the very end, without the need for complicated surgeries or long-term health care or the dreaded medication dependency, that's a different story. In this review, we'll dive into A-Rod's routine and expose the common mistakes that even this high-powered health team is failing to address. I've seen A-Rod in an interview regarding his company, A-Rod Corp. He sits down and talks with his members, and he gives them the green, the yellow, and the red. So the green is what they're doing good, the yellow is what they have to watch out for, and the red is what you gotta stop. So I'm gonna use A-Rod's own system on this video so that you guys can learn from his wins and his mistakes.
Here's my fridge.
What staples do you keep in there?
Always plenty of water, sparkling, but not too much. These waters. I stopped drinking pop soda about 5 years ago, but I have a lot of friends that drink pop sodas.
Okay, he stopped drinking soda. Fantastic, which is the green. The yellow is the water. You see that he has all of the water in plastic bottles. Plastic is an obesogen. Plastic bottle can emanate something into the water that causes your body to hang on to fat longer. He can afford to have water that comes in glass. I do give A-Rod a green because at least Arrowhead is natural mountain spring water because it has the minerals that he needs for his heart to beat regularly. Unfortunately, choosing the wrong container.
My eggs, salad. My fruit, always very important. Bananas, apples, some oranges.
So did you hear that? He said fruit, always very important. That's a classic sign of the confusion coming out of the mainstream medical and nutritional world. I see that problem all the time. Look, A-Rod is dating a certified nutritionist and an RN. And yes, just like my brother, the competitive bodybuilder, he believed the same misinformation about all that fruit. He gets a yellow for the fruit because he's, number one, consuming too much of it. Number two, he's believing it's healthy for him. And A-Rod, if you're listening, fruit is nature's candy. So what I'd like you to do with fruit is just put it at the end of a meal as your dessert.
What would we always see in an A-Rod fridge?
Blueberry are a must, always fresh, organic. Some strawberries.
He does get a green, though, for his mention that it was all organic. And for those of you who don't know, berries are on the dirty dozen list, meaning having a high amount of pesticides. Now, here's another yellow for the fruit, and that is he said he always has blueberries and raspberries. Here's the problem with that. Your body is meant to eat seasonally. This is why Mother Nature doesn't put blueberries and raspberries and strawberries all year long, because we're not supposed to be eating that all year long. I can make a whole nother video about bears and hibernation, why strawberries come out at the time that they do so the bear can go and hibernate for 6 months. But he's not a bear, and neither are you. So forget about having berries all year long. Eat in season, and that will do you a lot of good.
Probably have 3 or 4 meals. I mix in a shake.
Now let's get to the red. This is the stuff he's got to stop. He said he eats 4 meals a day sometimes. Nobody needs 4 meals a day. So that's proving, A-Rod, that you're not having enough protein, fiber, and fat in your other meals to give you enough so that you don't need to be eating 4 times a day. If you had to eat 4 times a day thousands of years ago, you would be extinct by now.
So for breakfast, it always has to have eggs, some oatmeal, put in some bacon, maybe a little glass of orange juice.
Eggs and bacon for breakfast with oatmeal. I like that because it contains protein, fiber, and fat. He didn't mention whether his eggs are pasture raised, but I believe when I looked in the fridge that those were a good quality pasture raised egg. I'm not sure about the bacon, if he gets it from somewhere where they humanely raise the pigs. If so, he gets another point for that. I forgot to mention the orange juice. That's 1980s misinformation. Don't drink orange juice. Eat the orange. You need the fiber. Otherwise, you're just drinking liquid sugar.
For lunch is usually some salad, chicken, fish. Love great salad, but always with a balsamic vinaigrette. For dinner is either steak, salmon. Love sweet potato fries, any type of fries actually.
Now he mentioned sweet potatoes, but he gets a red because he mentioned that he loves the fries. Guys, anytime you're eating deep fried food that is fried in industrial oils, which most restaurants use, you're going to be ingesting chemicals that are going to throw off your body chemistry. That's fine for a 10-year-old. But when you're in your 50s and 60s, you've been on this earth long enough where those things start to add up and add up quick, which lead to cardiovascular disease.
Today I probably undereat, which is not good. I need to eat more, especially some healthy proteins, more fruit.
He thinks he undereats. I cringed when he said fruit, but you guys already heard the scenario on fruit. But let's get to the protein comment. That again is another misinformation from a lot of certified nutritionists and a lot of doctors.
What's your go-to burger order?
A double Whopper with cheese. A Whopper from Burger King, but I like the fries from McDonald's.
I'm going to combine those two as a red. A double Whopper with cheese from Burger King is not going to have a healthy cheese in it. More than likely, that cheese is a version of plastic, in my opinion. He can afford to go to a place that makes a really great burger.
You drink coffee?
Drink plenty of coffee, nothing on it, just black, and I have probably 7, 8 cups a day.
He gets a green light for the coffee because he drinks it black. But here's where this goes to red, because he drinks 7 to 8 cups a day, people. That is horrendous. The fact that he needs 7 to 8 cups per day to get through the day proves that he's tired but wired. And that is a whole nother video that I could make.
I like peanut butter jelly turkey sandwich. That's a very unique A-Rod special.
Now, I do want to give an honorable mention because he does this A-Rod special. Now, why is that an honorable mention? Because he's adding turkey, which is a healthy protein, on top of something sweet. Because anytime you're going to have sugar, guys, which is the jelly, you're going to spike your insulin. You're going to need to tamper that down in order for your body not to end up as a type 2 diabetic. And based on what I see so far with A-Rod, I guarantee you he is on his way to diabetes, or if he hasn't been diagnosed yet, it's because the doctors don't know how to look at the labs to see the writing on the wall until he falls off the cliff and becomes type 2 diabetic. Falling off the cliff, I shouldn't have said that, because you can reverse type 2 diabetes. If you got something out of this video so far, give me a thumbs up.
Now I'm curious what you reach for at 2 a.m. when you're hungry.
Show you what I usually do. I did it last night. So I have barbecue, Doritos, Cheetos.
I cringed when I saw Doritos, Cheetos, barbecue potato chips. All of those are fried in industrial oils. Not only is he eating industrial oil fried food, which is causing more cardiovascular disease, he's eating it at 2 a.m. in the morning. A-Rod, that's a red. You got to stop eating at 2 a.m. in the morning. But I am going to go into giving him some grace, because I know based on what I'm seeing so far, his biochemistry is messed up. That's why he's desiring these things at 2 a.m. in the morning. But that's a whole nother video.
Tortillas, a little nuts, cashews. This is where I do my best work. 2 a.m.
The cashews are good because it's protein, fat, and fiber. But here's the problem when it comes to the cashews. Nobody should be eating at 2 a.m. in the morning. There is mega issues with that, with the way your body processes that at 2 a.m. and what it's doing to him in preventing him from healing and repairing. That is a definite red card.
Do you drink protein shakes?
I love protein shakes. Usually at least 30 grams of protein. Strawberries, berries, bananas, a little peanut butter. Let it rip.
Unless you have lost your teeth and you can't chew, no one should be drinking smoothies. But more on that later, as you know that A-Rod was diagnosed with gum disease, which is the first step to losing your teeth.
Besides the protein powder, do you take any other supplements?
I'll take some vitamin C, a multivitamin.
A-Rod, why do you need a vitamin C supplement when you're eating all that fruit? Mother Nature gave it to you in that fruit. You don't need to add more vitamin C. Again, another big misinformation. I'm going to say that's coming from the medical industry, and the nutritionists just lopped onto that. And see, this is the problem. Misinformation just keeps getting recycled.
And to sleep, a little magnesium.
He uses magnesium for sleep. That shows you right there that he is tired and wired, like I had diagnosed from the beginning, when he's drinking 7 to 8 cups of coffee a day.
Right before the gym, I go for a little bit of energy. So a little Celsius. Peach vibe.
Red, the Celsius Peach workout drink. I saw that and I said, no, that Celsius drink is shiny object syndrome. That's just one company trying to market to you guys and get you to look over here and do this. And here's the problem with that Celsius drink. 200 milligrams of caffeine, I think, in that. That's another 2 cups of coffee added to the 7 or 8 A-Rod is already drinking. So let's do the math. He's up to almost 10 cups of coffee a day. That means he's not even getting into deep sleep at night to repair. No wonder he has gum disease. Unfortunately, what's knocking on the door next? Cardiovascular disease, if it hasn't happened already. He's on the mindset, which, by the way, my brother, the competitive bodybuilder, was on this mindset too, that before we go to the gym, we got to get something in our bodies. Guys, if you don't want to end up with prostate cancer later like he did, you need to stop having that pre-workout drink or pre-workout anything, smoothie, bar, whatever it is. It's going to tick apart in his brain that's going to get him more addicted to it. And Celsius, by the way, loves the addiction factor, because you saw that he does one before every workout. Here's the problem. It has sucralose, banned in several countries, but not yet in the United States. But it's going to be. If RFK Jr. has anything to say about it, I think he's going to get that next on the agenda. It's not healthy for you because it's tricking your brain. He's solidifying this sugar desire. So the Celsius Peach workout drink, no. You know what he should be drinking? Water. The Arrowhead water.
You were recently diagnosed with gum disease. How are you managing that?
I've taken a very proactive approach and getting treatment, and I'm doing that 4 times a year. I'm excited that we were able to find it early.
The reality is that is not early. Gum disease is an early sign of cardiovascular disease. That's the early sign when it comes to the gums. But the gums have been a problem for a very long time. It just took a while for it to get to the point where his dentist said, oh, you have a problem here. And that's what's wrong with the medical industry. They don't know how to look at labs so that you can prevent these things from happening. I want to restate that. Doctors are trained to manage disease, not reverse it. And it's not the doctor's fault. It's the fault of the medical industry allowing big pharma to have too much influence. But that's another story. Some of you out there may have even skipped the gum disease part and you went on to losing a tooth, or you went on to losing several teeth. Inflammation is the problem here. A-Rod, you have been creating this inflammation based on your habits. So strategically, switch up what we talked about, green, yellow, and red. You know what to do with that. And here's why I know what I know. Because I come from a family of athletes who, just like A-Rod, has exercised for decades upon decades. And I myself spent several decades in private practice seeing the devastating effects of the mistakes firsthand from various industries like the diet and fitness industry, the nutrition industry, and the medical industry. And here's the most unique proof. As an eye doctor, I had a literal front row seat to view into the only part of your body where one can see the cardiovascular system without cutting you open. See those blood vessels? They're all really tiny. Because those blood vessels are tiny in the eye, they are a precursor to what's going to go on the bigger blood vessels on the heart. And by the way, I did a whole video about what your eye doctor may have missed. I'll link that below somewhere so you can get more information on that. I heard A-Rod said that he spent time being mentored by Warren Buffett. So those of you that have successfully invested in things, you know that the crucial KPIs are what matter when you're investing in something. Key performance indicators. And I'm here to tell you, A-Rod, weight is not a key performance indicator for what you want. Look, if you want to leverage your health with the same elite precision that you use in your business, I can show you how to do that. Stop settling, though, for those popular general strategies or hacks. Just because people keep repeating this stuff all over YouTube, all over mainstream media, or wherever you see it, doesn't make it true. The truth comes down to what your labs say on the inside that doctors are completely missing, and to stop listening to the noise or having shiny object syndrome. A-Rod, if you're watching this, let me be clear. You've built an empire and you know the value of an elite strategy. You know that getting a good result is an easy thing to do, but getting the best result involves getting the best mind at the table. Right now, you have a good team to lose 35 pounds. But that team is missing the strategic vision for the next 30 years. Your challenge isn't money, it's time. The time you need to enjoy your legacy with your family, with your girls. You want to hold your future grandchildren without being compromised by disease. And remember this, wealth without health is nothing. My clients typically come to me after some organs have been removed or they've already survived a heart attack or stroke. But I prove that unless your obituary is written, you still have a chance to change things around. If you're ready to stop wasting your time and start leveraging your health, you need to stop making the top 5 mistakes. And here's the shocking truth. A-Rod, you made every single one of those. So watch my video, the 5 weight loss mistakes men over 50 are making and how to easily solve them. It's linked in the description below and I'll pin it as the first comment. Okay, so see you on the next video.